tonight, we start with the damage left behind from severe storms that swept through late last night. Take a look at these power line poles that were snapped along Sunset Avenue in Springdale. And take a look at these photos out of Malberry in Crawford County. A bunch of trees uprooted across town. City leaders say straight line winds snapped limbs and knocked out power early this morning. 5 News reporter Jacob Luthi is in Malberry tonight. We'll hear from him in just a little bit. But the rain isn't over just yet. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. I'm Rachel Williams. And with meteorologist Stephen Elmore. And Stephen, you've mentioned how we've got more storms on the way.
Yeah, so far it's been quiet since very early this morning, but it's been cloudy, and we've been talking about how the chances for more storms build back in by the time we get later on this evening. The main window that we'd be concerned about is mainly looking late tonight, going into the overnight hours and into the early morning hours of our Easter Sunday. Here's a look at current radar out there right now. For the past several hours, it's been very quiet outside. A few scattered showers, an isolated thunderstorm off towards our west, but so far we'll be continuing to see those signs of building that potential for late tonight for more storms back into the forecast. Doppler radar shows us this, our futurecast shows us this of what we're expecting later on tonight. Again, more of those chances for some storms firing up off towards our west and moving into northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. We have that level 2 out of 5 risk for this evening. The main concerns would be for some strong damaging winds, the chances for some large hail, and similar to yesterday, the tornado risk is very low, but it's not zero. That heavy rainfall continues going into our Easter Sunday, but by the time we get to the morning hours, maybe entering to just a bit of a lull before more storm chances come back into the forecast going into your Easter afternoon and into the evening hours. Again, that level 2 out of 5 risk for tonight, but that risk even higher going into your Easter Sunday. Along with that, we have the chances of some flooding. We've already picked up a lot of heavy rainfall. We're going to pick up even more. That flood watch goes all the way out until Sunday. So here's a look at what you need to know. More storm chances for tonight, more storm chances for your Sunday afternoon. Severe storms possible, that flooding risk elevated. We'll talk about the details for overnight tonight coming up in just a bit.
All right, Stephen, thanks. The storms last night knocked out power for thousands, but crews are making a lot of progress today. Only 761 customers are without power right now. And over half of those are in Crawford County. One of the towns hit hard by the storms this morning includes Malberry. Like we mentioned earlier, trees were uprooted all across town. 5 News reporter Jacob Luthi is down there tonight as people begin to clean up.
The owner of this house here in Malberry tells me that he was inside around 8 a.m. this morning when this tree fell right on top of his property. And today, crews throughout the city are working to clear roads and down power lines after strong winds struck.
One Malberry family tells me that one minute they were out sitting on their porch and the next a tree was on their house. Winds left a path of damage from around Highway 64 straight through Pleasant Hill Road. Damaged structures, gas lines uprooted by trees, and snapped power lines were the scenes Malberry residents were left with. People also spent the day clearing debris from a local cemetery. City officials and fire crews, along with state and county departments, continue to clear the debris from blocking roads and restore power to residents.
Thank you for anybody who's came out with their own chainsaws, just came out, helped trim, clear out limbs, checked on neighbors. Like I said, there's a lot of that going on, just checking on neighbors, and just a quick response from our guys, the water department, sewer department, all those guys trimming the trees, trying to get all the roadways cleared so the police and emergency vehicles can get down through there. I just say keep up the good work.
Despite the damage, as of right now, there have been no reported injuries. In Malberry, covering news where you live, Jacob Luthi, 5 News.
Thank you, Jacob. All the rain is also leading to flooding concerns. All of our area is under a flood watch until tomorrow night. You were just taking a look at Spring Creek near Cave Springs along Highway 112. The rising water is leading the county to shut down roads like Dixon, Pierce, and Pearl Road north of Centerton are closed due to the high water. Sugar Creek Road just north of Little Flock is also impassable tonight. We also got a ton of videos and pictures from you last night. This is a video along Sunset when the storms were moving through in this big oak tree that was splintered after being struck by lightning. We appreciate all the photos you send us. Remember, you can always text them straight to this number right there on your screen, 479-785-5000. Remember, you can also track the rain and storms where you live with our free 5 News app. All you have to do is search for it in the App Store as KFSM.
That bombing profoundly shook the country and did more to all of you. But in the end, it brought out the best in America. First responders, doctors, nurses, construction workers from all across America put their own lives on hold and showed up here.
Tonight, reflections 30 years after the devastating bombing of the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building in Oklahoma City. On April 19, 1995, 168 people were killed in the deadliest act of domestic terrorism in U.S. history. This morning, Oklahoma City and the nation honored the lives lost in a ceremony remembering the victims of the attack, including 5 from our area. Mark Bolte, a Bentonville native and a U of A graduate, worked for the Federal Highway Administration and was inside the federal building when the bomb went off. Rebecca Needham Anderson from Fort Smith, a nurse who rushed to the scene to help, she collapsed and later died rescuing survivors at the blast site. Teresa Alexander, a Fort Smith native, wife and mother of 3, who had gone to the building to get a Social Security card for her 8-month-old son. Renata Woodbridge graduated from a high school in Batesville and earned a bachelor's and master's degree in civil engineering from the U of A. Wanda Watkins has family ties to Rogers and is buried there. She worked as a civilian for the Army and even spending time at Fort Chaffee before transferring to Oklahoma City. For the families of those 5 and 163 other victims, today is a moment for reflection. 5 News reporter Morgan Wrigley is in Oklahoma City tonight.
It was a cold and rainy morning here in Oklahoma City. The ceremony had to be moved inside, but that didn't stop crowds of people from coming together to remember the lives lost on April 19th, 1995, 30 years ago.
As we have done each year for the past 30 years, we gather as a community on April 19th to remember, to learn from what happened, and to grow and heal.
It was a packed auditorium at First Church in Oklahoma City on Saturday morning. Every seat was full. People lined the walls around the auditorium for the ceremony honoring the 30th anniversary of the Oklahoma City bombing.
On holy ground.
The crowd heard touching musical performances and thoughts from Susan Chambers, chairman of the memorial, along with past and present city and state leaders and national leaders, including former President Bill Clinton.
I still remember as if it were 30 minutes ago coming here with Hillary to that memorial service and saying, "You have lost too much, but you have not lost everything. You have certainly not lost America, and we will be with you for as many tomorrows as it takes." I do think we kept that commitment. Lord knows we tried. But today, Oklahoma City, America needs you. I wish to goodness every American could just see life unfold here. Hear these stories.
The names of all 168 people who were killed in the attack were read by family members, including Hillary Johnson, the daughter of Rebecca Needham Anderson, a Fort Smith native who was killed helping rescue survivors in the aftermath.
We remember rescue worker, my mother, Rebecca Needham Anderson.
After the ceremony, family, survivors, and first responders walked to the memorial, many, like Joe Bowers and his daughters, Emery and Carrie, visiting the chairs of their loved ones.
My mother, Carol Bowers, who was Social Security Administration. You say, hey, let's do something, she gone, we're going. Spiritual lady, very giving, very kind. These are my daughters, these are her granddaughters, so, which she never got to meet them, but she loved them, and I think she watches over them.
The Bowers family comes to the memorial every year on this day. They say this year's ceremony was deeply meaningful.
The turnout was huge this year, and that speaks volumes to how our generation's not forgetting. We're still remembering, we're still honoring, and we can't wait to see her someday.
For families who return each year, these gatherings have become a chance to reconnect and remember.
And you kind of become a family with the other families. So there's people you always want to see.
As the years go on, countless people like the Bowers continue to work to make sure the world never forgets.
And if it's not for us sharing the stories, what we've heard, what we've experienced, this won't go on much longer.
In Oklahoma City, covering news where you live, Morgan Wrigley, 5 News.
Well, if you want to watch more from today's ceremony and hear those remarks in full, just head over to our website, 5newsonline.com. We have those speeches in full on our webpage. Law enforcement across the state say they're going to have extra officers out on the roads today and tomorrow. It's a part of a nationwide 420 mobilization campaign. They say if you drive high, you're going to get a DUI. Marijuana laws vary state by state, but it still remains illegal in Arkansas. Officers say make smart decisions, and they're encouraging everyone to make sure they give their keys to someone sober.